The Pit by Peter Papathanasiou, published by Maclehose Press, and this is a wonderful adventure fiction story of a road trip that is set in Western Australia, and it starts out in Perth and travels up through the Pilbara up into the Kimberley, and it is setting is just a really important part. Now, he is really the king of outbacknoir. Jane Harper, I think her crown has toppled, and I think he's taken it because it is such a strong sense of place in this novel that you are transported there, and it's a very, very harsh climate. It's very hot. There are big kangaroos. You have to have specific, and everything is bigger. The lorries are bigger, the trains are bigger, and it's a very unforgiving place. In this novel, we have a different protagonist. We have been used to George Manolis, but he is away on stress. He's in Greece, and he is the senior to the person who features in this particular novel, and that is Andrew Smith, otherwise called Sparrow. Now, one day, Sparrow is in his office, and he receives a phone call from somebody called Robert Cooper, Bob, who says that, several decades ago, he murdered someone in the far reaches of Western Australia, so really far north, and he invites Sparrow to accompany him to dig up the remains of somebody he killed. So Sparrow is intrigued by this. He decides to take it as part of his vacation, and joining them is somebody called Luke, who is a very young paraplegic who also lives in the elderly care facility. And Bob seems to have purloined a high ace, and so the three of them are tearing up the highways up to the Pilbara, the Kimberley, and right up to the inhospitable northern areas of this particular state. So here we have three of the most unlikely people thrown together in a high ace van, tearing up the highways to the northernmost tip of Western Australia. In Flashbacks, we learn a lot about the mining industry that has been taking place in Australia. And goodness, it's a harsh, harsh place where the men are hardened, the setting is very, very harsh. And it is sodden with poisonous elements. There's asbestos and contaminants, and everything seems bigger, harder. There's lots of metal. There's ore being mined. There's diamonds, and it all feels very, very hard. So I was kind of surprised to discover a bit more about that industry, which left its mark, I'm sure, on many, many people, because it was, a really, really hard job to do. Bob was one of the people who worked up there, and so we see a kind of bit of a background for his story. And so there they are, trailblazing their way up north on this odyssey. They meet Mouse, and she is a female trucker who is driving this huge truck, bigger than I can ever imagine. And they have broken down. She picks them up, ties it to the back of the truck, and the four of them, for a while, plough on north. So I think what you get in this novel is a real sense of adventure fiction, an interesting story, and the writing is very, very easy to read. It just bowls along, as the wheels turn, the story turns, and I very much enjoyed it. So I think if you're looking for something in outback noir, and you can't really do better than this, The Pit by Peter Papathanasiou is a really good one to pick up.